Hello and welcome to my workshop. So today we're going to be getting back on the Jeep. Now this is a replica of the Jeep my granddaddy had when my dad was a kid, and he would take this out on the beach and go fishing, and it was his everyday driver for several years. What we've done so far is be able to create the body. We've created this topper which is going to come off, and also the windshield that folds down. What we're going to try to do today is finish up the hood, get a lot more of the structure made, come up with a permanent way to magnet mount this down in the back, and just get this a little bit further down the road. Alright, let's get started. So I was able to get the fenders on and this little side step, and I got those on both sides. It's a pretty simple process as far as building that, but just getting the dimensions and set right to match both sides was a little bit challenging. But all in all, it's in good shape right there. It really does round out the look of the Jeep in the front. So I ended up making a new hood and just get rid of that seam in the front that was showing up because of the vacuum mold, and that turned out really nice. What I have to come back in is add some structural support in the bottom of this to give it a little more rigidity, and it shouldn't take much, just a couple of ribs, and that's, you know, there's one in the back, one down the middle, and maybe one in the front. I'm trying to remember exactly what the original one looks like, but that should be close to getting it what it needs. And then it'll be coming up with some type of a hinge so that this hood can then hinge up, and then have it come all the way back like this. So I think that's the next thing we'll try to work on. Let's see if we can get that done. So definitely hats off to all the builders out there that do mechanical moving parts for these RCs. It's definitely a challenge. It's a whole lot more than just building a static model, even from scratch. With that said, I was able to get the hood hinged. Not perfectly, but I think it's definitely good for what I'm looking for. It has some magnets in the front to hold this thing down. And yeah, it just works really well, so really happy with that. So the last major construction piece would be getting some type of engine cover. I have a lot of things to work around, but I'm pretty sure I'll be able to get something that is looks pretty good. It won't be like having a complete 3D engine, but I think it's going to work well. All right, so let's get to that. So I got the engine cover finished, and it's not a whole lot to look at right now. It's ended up being, 3 of these round pieces that are pushed together, holds the motor and transmission and stuff, and then one for the servo. So what I'm going to end up doing is coming back and placing, custom little styrene pieces on top to represent pieces of what the engine will be. Now, it won't be exactly perfect, but I'm doing my best to kind of camouflage this and cover this all up. But it's a good starting point, and it should look good in the end. So I'm not 100% sure what I'm working on next, but I got to make sure I get all the details. I think I'll probably come in here and make the cooler in the back. So the cooler is going to do 2 things: it'll hold the battery, and it'll also help cover up these shocks. And I'll probably do that, and then after that, it'll just be a lot of little finished details and getting all that sorted out. All right, let's get to that. Right, so I think we come to a pretty good place to stop. Here's kind of go over real quick what we've got accomplished. So reminder, we have the opening hood, and we have a start of a engine cover. Now, as a reminder, there's going to be a lot more detail placed onto this to try to camouflage the sections which actually cover the transmission, motor, and the servo. So the fenders on the side, the top magnetized on, and we have a start of a battery box, which is going to be also a designed to look like a old-fashioned Coleman cooler, and that has little magnets on that hold that in place. And so it'll do a couple different things. One is the screws for mounting the body down are inside here. It also has these recesses which cover up the shock towers, and like I said, it's going to house the battery. So I think it's going to work out really well. So all in all, making really good progress on this. Very happy with what I'm getting done. I think pretty much most of the construction as far as major pieces are finished. Still lots of work to do, lots of filling gaps, getting body lines, small details sorted out, but we'll get to that along with getting this thing painted on the next video. Until then, we'll see you in the rocks.